Good morning, dear students. Hope you're doing well and you are safe. It's Miss Badr speaking. Today we are going to continue the lesson of addition of fractions, but with the three fractions today. I wrote on the top of the screen the steps I have to use in order to solve these. And actually, they are the same steps we used to add with two fractions. We are just going to apply to three fractions. So we are going to find the common denominator, rename that fraction with the common denominator, add, and simplify if possible. So we've got here the fractions 5 over 6 plus 2 over 3 plus 1 over 2. And as you can see, we don't have the same denominator. So we need to find the same denominator. One method is I can find the least common multiple, and that will be my common denominator. So the multiples of 6 are 6, 12, and that goes on forever. Multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, and so on. Multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, and so on. So the least common multiple is 6, which will be the common denominator. Now as you can see that 5 over 6, the denominator is already 6, so I keep it as it is. Plus, for the 2 over 3, I multiply the numerator and the denominator by 2 to get 4 over 6. Plus, as for 1 over 2, I multiply the numerator and denominator by 3 and I get 3 over 6. Now the common denominator is 6. I can add the numerators now. So 5 plus 4 plus 3 is equal to 12 over 6. I notice here that the 12 over 6 is not in its simplest form. So I have to simplify. 12 and 6 have a common factor 6. So I divide by 6 and that will be 2 over 1, which is equal to 2. I write it as a whole number. Now what about this? Again, I wrote the 4 steps on top of the screen. And the fractions are 3 over 5 plus 1 over 6 plus 2 over 3. And as you notice here that I don't have the same denominator. I have to find the same denominator. Here I can multiply 5 by 6, which is 30. And 30 is a multiple of 3 because 3 times 10 is 30. So the common multiple, the common denominator is 30. Now 3 over 5, I rename it as a fraction over 30. So I multiply the numerator and the denominator by 6, I get 18 over 30. Plus 1 over 6, I multiply the numerator and the denominator by 5 and I get 5 over 30. Plus I multiply the numerator and the denominator and I multiply by 10, so I get 20 over 30. So since I have now the common denominator, which is 30, I can add the numerators. 18 plus 5 plus 20 is equal to 43. So 43 over 30 is the final answer, and my fraction is in its simplest form. Now, what about this? I have two fractions and a whole number. The whole number, I have to write it as a fraction with denominator 1. Now I have three fractions. I want to find the common denominator. So if I multiply 5 by 2, I get 10. 10 is a multiple of 5 and 2 and 1. So the common denominator is 10. Now I write the 3 over 5 as a fraction with denominator 10. So I multiply the numerator and the denominator by 2 and I get 6 over 10. Plus I multiply by 5 in the 1 over 2 the numerator and the denominator, and I get 5 over 10. Plus, I multiply in this fraction by 10, the numerator and the denominator, and I get 50 over 10. Now I have the common denominator. I can add the numerators. 6 plus 5, 11. 11 plus 50 is 61 over 10. And here also my answer is in simplest form. Thanks for watching.